William H. Macy won the award for Outstanding Male Actor at the SAG Awards, and he shared his perspective to reporters backstage and said that during the Me Too and Time's Up movement, this is what he felt. He said, "It's hard to be a man these days. I think a lot of us feel like we're under attack and that we need to apologize, and perhaps we do, and perhaps we are." So I thought this was a really interesting take because at first I was like, man, this is really selfish. Of course, a man's making it about a man and their feelings during this movement when obviously that's not where the focus should be. But then there's a part of me that's like, I kind of get what he's saying because you do feel like as men, you really don't know what's okay. Am I allowed to say those are colorful outfits? Is that going to be? But like, that's a stretch, obviously.
Johnny,
but
you can compliment me anytime.
But I guess the feeling is for men, it's like so many men have behaved so poorly for so long that it makes you feel like you're confined in who you should be, and you better be on your P's and Q's because you don't want to be offensive in any way. You start to question what's offensive and what's not.
Yeah,
do you kind of relate with what William's saying here at all? Do you understand it?
Yeah, I do. Like, I think for me anyway, the initial thing was kind of like, ooh, a little defensive, right? But I do think, like, first of all, like, silence is never the answer for anyone. And I'm not saying that men should be the face of the Me Too movement, but they should, by no means, right? But I think, how do we all fit together? We're all human beings on this planet. How are we going to work together? So I think the thing that he was mentioning is that men need to talk to each other.
And he also, I thought that was a great part of it. He admitted that him and a bunch of his buddies in the Hollywood game got together and discussing. He said, and men don't talk enough. And I think this is a good start because it's generating dialogue, which I think is huge to the whole movement, at least from the male perspective.
Yeah, he said he had a party at his house, and like his wife was there, and his daughters were there, and they said they all had an honest, open conversation about what's happening. And at first, like you said, it was like, what do you mean? Now you're complaining that it's hard? It's supposed to be hard. It's been hard for women for a while. But like, you do have sympathy for, you know, the good men out there who are doing the right thing. But it does make, I think it just opens up and it forces us to have these tough conversations that men should be having.
Right, and I think listening is important for everyone. I feel like we've already learned that silence is not the answer.
Absolutely. You know? All right, well, last week at a mental health conference here in Chicago, the most decorated Olympian of all time, Michael Phelps, took aim at promoting mental health awareness. He said, quote, "After every Olympics, I think I fall into a major state of depression, and I did contemplate suicide. People may not understand how debilitating mental illness truly can be and how common it is. Plus, athletes and celebrities, they're like everybody else." I thought this was huge. I mean, this is somebody who you think is on top of the world, somebody you think has no problems. He has all the adoration from a national, a world perspective. What could be wrong? And abs.
As long as you had abs, you'd be happy.
If you got abs and money, you should be happy.
He's got a wife, he's got kids. You would think by all accounts he's happy and healthy. And for him to acknowledge that it's not, this is a disease and it should be treated like cancer should be looked at or any other illness because this isn't a choice to be depressed. And, you know, on the heels of working in the sports world, a quarterback at Washington State, 21-year-old kid set to be the man at Washington State at the quarterback position, committed suicide just last week, Tyler Helinski. And you would think, again, it's a kid, big man on campus, everything going right, took a shotgun to his head and left a suicide note. And it just has to put into perspective how serious this is.
From the outside, it looks like they have everything, but important to remember that life doesn't always, it doesn't always go how it seems. And I imagine it being a lot of pressure. I mean, for that young man, and then also for Michael Phelps, I just imagine it being a lot of pressure because now it's like, oh, I gotta stay on top. People expect me to win. People expect me to be number one.
It's almost that come down afterwards, you know, once you're done. To me, the biggest takeaway for me is I thought it was great that this man who everybody thinks is He-Man and can do everything is made himself vulnerable and went to see somebody, got professional help. And look, I can sit here and say it without feeling embarrassed. I go see somebody. I go see a therapist. I'm dealing with a lot of stuff in my life, and I think everybody, man, woman, I think it's good to be able to pour that stuff out and communicate. I think it makes you a better person. I think it helps you kind of clear your head. I think it's healthy, just like getting on a treadmill and working out.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. I mean, like your mental health, you have to train it. You have to. And there is this weird, still this shame involved. So I think the more people in the public eye who are open about it.
I'm not ashamed to say it.
Yeah, and I think vulnerability and shame are huge at pushing like mental health into this dark corner. And it's a mistake.
Couldn't agree more. All right, moving on. A mom has admitted on Facebook to charging her 5-year-old daughter with rent. She said that it gives her daughter $7 every week and makes her daughter give back 5 of those dollars to go towards bills. It sounds harsh, but she revealed that she's actually putting the money from her daughters into a savings account. Is this too early to be teaching your daughter something like this? The value of money at 5 years old charging rent. I happen to think as a parent, it's awesome. I think she's doing a fantastic job.
I heard like $7. I was like, dang, that's a lot of money for a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
5 that goes back.
Well, inflation rate.
Yeah.
Inflation. Things have gone up. But no, I mean, I could see it both ways because part of me is like, just be a kid. Like, why can't we start this at age 10? Does it have to start at 5?
So many of us are irresponsible with money.
Yeah.
And I just feel like,
True.
and that's not exclusive to a gender or a race. That's just people. And I think if you could be taught that at an early age, I think it should be taught in schools, elementary school, high school, definitely college.
Yeah.
I mean, who cares about calculus and geometry and all this stuff?
Right.
How about learning to finance your
right
money?
angles are amazing, but how do I balance a checkbook?
There you go, girl.
Or like taxes.
No, you guys hear me rant about this in the newsroom all the time. Like our education system is so outdated. We should be learning how to do taxes, how to buy our first home, how to invest in stocks and bonds and mutual funds, how to set up your retirement account. Like these are real things that I need to know as an adult that I just learned a few years ago.
How to hustle
it
a
would have
phone
helped
company.
10 years ago.
Right?
How to hustle a phone company, like how to get AT&T and Sprint to get each other to get you the best
or
deal.
the credit card company.
Yeah.
You're supposed to call you guys and ask for a lower interest rate. If it's too high, you call and ask.
Here comes the rant, everybody.
Yeah, you see, I'm getting frustrated.
You should teach this class. I would take that class.
Because I've learned so much, and we're so far behind as women of color, as women in general, and then as black people, we're so far behind. In terms of money and how it works and what we need to do to set ourselves up in a better position. Like I just purchased a home and it's like I had to get myself together in terms of credit. Credit is power. Jay-Z said it in a song.
Amen. You could have said it any better.